So if you've been around the channel for a while, you know that I typically don't make videos on like different guns or god rolls or things like that. And that's because I usually pick like one loadout and that's all I use. And so if you've been around my streams, you know, this is pretty much all I use. I think that's going to change very soon because we are getting two guns or two weapons, I guess, that are going to change everything for me. They're essentially better versions of what we have now. And I think Forbearance is about to be dethroned. And so in this video, I want to go over that. Now, before we get started, Bungie's doing another fundraiser for Direct Relief. If you want to get this exclusive emblem, it's a $10 donation. You get this emblem. And everyone who donates using my link, you are entered to win a Star Splash emblem as well. So I'm going to include that down below. Get yourself an exclusive emblem. Up those in need. Let's talk about these two weapons. So the first is going to be the brand new Nightfall Sword, the Slammer. Now, this will be available starting March 19th from, there will be an adept version from GMs and then a regular version. This thing is ridiculous. So, right off the bat, it is the first non-other half or half-truth sword to get Eager Edge. It is a vortex frame, so think about like the Fallen Guillotine. It gets Eager Edge, and it rolls with bait and switch. And so if this does not affect like your ability to well skate, so if you can still shatter skate and well skate with the vortex heavy attack, which I'm pretty sure you'll be able to, then this will replace the other half for me forever. The other half, like the main thing that hurts it, if we look at it, is it's got Eager Edge, but its main damage perk is Vorpal, and I think you can like surround it in this slot. Nothing really that great, nothing that can be activated really fast and is super effective against bosses. Bait and switch, if I'm speedrunning strikes and I still need to do damage, I don't have to worry about swapping heavies. I just bam, bam, it's done. And vortex frames do a ton of damage anyways, right? It also has the Vanguard's Vindication origin trait, which gives you health every time you get a kill. It's not a lot of health, but it's enough to keep you alive if you're speedrunning and you're accidentally, swinging into enemies. And it still rolls with Swordmaster's Guard and Jagged Edge. So, like, all in all, this is crazy. It also can use Adept mods because there's the Adept version, and so you can use Adept big ones on this as well. I think this is going to, once again, with the caveat, if you can still well and shatter skate with this, this will be my favorite heavy weapon in the entire game by a lot. It's not even close. The other half has been a lot of fun, but this completely power creeps, in my opinion. The second one is going to be Tusk of the Boar. And I think Tusk of the Boar has a good potential to dethrone Forbearance. So Forbearance is awesome. It does ad clear. When you reload it, you can shoot 2 or 3 times. It heals you. It does a lot of things very, very, very well. The main problem with Forbearance is what you pair with it. So, Forbearance, you pretty much use it as a primary weapon, but there's a very limited number of really good weapons in this primary slot, Kinetic Strand, Stasis. There's some examples. Malfeasance is busted. Fatebringer's really good, but I think for most people, they would agree that some of the best like kinetic or primary weapons are in the slot Forbearance is in. Ikelos, Sunshot, Mida Mini Tool, etc. Zollies. Like, there's a ton of examples of these guns that are really good, but you can't use them because you're using Forbearance. And Fatebringer is really good, but it is not Ikelos good. It is definitely not Sunshot good. And that goes for most, if not every single like top tier kinetic primary that I can think of. So if we look at a wave frame like the Tusk of the Boar, which comes from Iron Banner starting on April 2nd. This is Strand, so it'll go in that top slot, and then that opens you up to use things like Sunshot or Ikelos or any of those weapons that I previously discussed, making your build that much more strong. In addition, Tusk of the Boar does a lot of the things that Forbearance does. So Forbearance is getting a nerf. Chain Reaction on specials is getting nerfed. I still think it'll be very, very good. But, I still have to play around with that and see how it works in practice. But so far, what I'm thinking is going to be absolutely crazy is going to be Slideways. Every time you slide, it reloads the weapon. Chain Reaction. And so while Forbearance, you can take 2 or 3 shots without reloading, with this, you could quite literally never have to reload. And if you do have to reload, the field-tested origin trait helps with that. Hits and kills with your weapon grants you points, hitting points thresholds, grant stacks of field tests, maximum of 5 stacks, and with 5 stacks you get plus 20 range, plus 50 reload speed. With a gun like this, where you're doing a ton of ad clear, you're shooting a lot of shots really fast without reloading, you're exploding a bunch of ads, you're going to build that up very quickly, and you're always going to have that plus 50 reload if you have to reload at any point in time. Plus your handling is really high, so you'll be able to swap back and forth to something like an eye close or a sunshot. The one disadvantage that this guy has is it doesn't necessarily heal you, but there are so many other things in the game. You know, if you run a sunshot build, for instance, you can have endless restoration, which would be really, really good, and just use this to add clear. In addition to that, this is strand, so there's all sorts of interactions there you can do. The sword, the slammer heals you. So there are still options in the game. That is definitely one thing that knocks us down from forbearance, but the fact that you can fill in with a better primary weapon, I think, is worth that potentially. So definitely going to use this in the game. And then I just have high velocity rounds and quick launch on this guy. Either a velocity or a handling masterwork, whatever. I don't think it matters. And so, like, this is going to be pretty big. This is going to be really big. And I think these two weapons have the potential to really transform my loadout to the next step. Still using a sword in a wave frame and a primary, but really evolving that and allowing me to play to my 3.0 a little bit better. And still, like, my subclass 3.0, and still just absolutely shred. So I'm really excited for these two weapons. We'll obviously have to wait and see how they function in the game, but I wanted to let you guys know, keep your eyes out for it. I'm really excited to farm those as soon as they're available. Go donate using the link down below. Enter for your chance to win a Star Splash. Go get your exclusive emblem. Thank you guys so much. Have a fantastic night. Let me know your thoughts down below. Love your faces. Peace out.